I'm Allie. Join me as I show you how to make this sizzle bracelet. You can add in crystals, but we're going to keep it really simple and just use some seed beads and some pearls. Remember, if you need any of the supplies, look below the video in the description. Hit that show more button and you'll get links back to our website and list all the materials there. Gather everything up and let's get started. So to get started, we have our 6mm pearls, our 11 O's and our 15 O's, which I spilled onto the 11 O's, and a cup button. We are going to begin with some size 6 or size 8, doesn't matter which, dragon thread. And with that dragon thread, I want you to put a size 10 or 11 needle on it. I have a stop bead at the base of my project here, and I have a good 10 inches left so I can go back and tie on the clasp. I'm not going to worry about it right away. I'll come back and do the clasp afterwards. This bracelet is one that we are going the whole way up, and we are not coming back in the design as we complete it. I want you to first add onto your threaded needle 4 pearls that are separated out by 11 O seed beads. Once you have that on, we're actually doing right angle weave, you're going to go back through pearl number 1, 11 O seed bead, pearl number 2, 11 O seed bead, and out pearl number 3. Give a nice pull there on your thread next to the beads and tighten it up. Now we are going to decorate the top and the bottom of our piece to make our S's. So I'm going to go through the next 11 O seed bead. And when I exit the next 11 O seed bead, I'm going to add 9 of my 11 O's. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 11 O's. I'm going to go to the opposite side here and go down through the 11 pearl 11 on the opposite side to create that little arch. I'm going to create the arch at the bottom as well. 9 seed beads. If you're using Toho instead of Miyuki, which I'm using, you may get away with 8, but I like the 9. And then we're going to go to the opposite side here and go up through the 11 O and out after the pearl. See how that gets your curves along the top and the bottom of the piece? Now what we're going to do is make our diagonal line to do our S shape. For this, I'm going to switch from 9 to 8 of my 11 O's. So we've got 5, 6, 7, and 8 11 O seed beads. I'm going to go from the top of the pearl on the right to the bottom of the pearl on the left, coming out next to the stop bead, making sure I'm not going into the stop bead. Look at that, you have an S with your seed beads. From here, we're going to go through the 11 O after the pearl, as well as the next pearl. Once you get up there, you're also going to go through the 11 O and out the bottom of the pearl that your thread was just exiting from. From here, I want you to grab your 15 O's. Now you can do this all with 11s if you want to, but it's kind of up to you. I'm going to grab 6 of my 15 O's. I'm using 15 O's because I want them to just kind of be very subtle in the sizzle bracelet, that I want it to be smaller than my silver beads. Lots of S's and Z's. Now 6 more 11 or 15 O's get put on after you put on another one of your pearls. And once you have the 15 pearl 15 combos, you're going to go back through the pearl that your thread is currently coming out of. That's going to be our connector there for the top and the bottom. When you're doing this, I want to create my Z shape, so I'm coming out of the pearl. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 seed beads. Nice tight pull. Go from the bottom of the pearl on the left here to the top of the pearl on the right. If you want, you can take a trip the whole way around that to get it nice and tight before you make your Zorro Z. From here, it is the same thing over and over. So we have our S, we have our Z here, and now we make another S. 11 O gets put on before I add 3 more pearls onto the pattern. And I make sure that I finished with an 11 O as well. The 4th 11 O that I need for my square, my thread is already coming out of. So I've got 3 new pearls on there. I'm going to go into the top of the pearl my thread is currently coming out of. Nice tight pull there. I'm going to go into that bottom 11 seed bead, and now I'm going to continue. You can actually just hit repeat, slow me down, go in and check it out. And there's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Over to the opposite side through the 11 purl. 11, there we go. Want to make sure to tighten that up too, so you don't see any extra thread showing. We're going to do the same thing at the top. Remember, if you're struggling to learn, you can always slow the video down. I know I speak quickly. And also you may want to try out some of our subscription boxes too. We often have a lot of these same materials in our treasure boxes. Pearls, seed beads, crystals, etc. You don't just need to use pearls for this. You can use anything that's 6mm. From here, we do another grouping, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Up to the top and down from the opposite purl. And there's your next S. So you've got your S's, you've got your Z's in between, and we're going to continue on creating our S's with our pearls. Do you know how jewelry makers save huge each month on beading supplies? Potomac Beads Treasure Box is a monthly subscription where you can save up to 60% off new and exciting materials. And here's a few examples of what your community made with their treasure boxes. This month, we have our best ever deals for new subscribers, including free tools, added boxes and kits, and even our ultimate beading kit for annual subscribers. Unleash your creativity with a treasure box subscription. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscribe or click on the link in the description. Once you get your length, it's time to put on the button. And you will notice a tiny bit, sometimes the bracelet goes towards the right. It almost looks like it's kind of leaning because you're pulling in the same direction as you go through those and adding the extra lines on the right angle weave. To finish, I have 4 seed beads onto my thread and needle. Then I'm going to count it as a 5th seed bead. Then 2 more and up through the front of the cup button. 1, 2, and 3 11 seed beads down through the cup button on the opposite side. I'm going to add 1 and 2 11 and then I'm going to go back into that 5th seed bead. And I'm going to sew through that 5th seed bead going towards the pearls. What that does is creates a little V there. And then we're going to do 4 more seed beads, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going back into the pearl that our thread was coming out of from the opposite end. See how that makes a nice V? It finishes it off and gets that button right in place. We're going to reinforce going back up through that entire piece here, back up through the seed beads, nice tight pulls. And then after we come down through the opposite side, we are going to work on tying off our thread. On the opposite side of the project, we're going to go in and we are going to create a loop for our button to sit inside of. Down the project here, I'm coming back down the side that is closest to the bottom, into the pearl, and now what I'm going to do is weave back into the design. So I'm going to go back through the next pearl, but the 11 before, and the pearl. I'm going to come back with this black thread next to where I use my black beads, and I'm going to sew underneath that bridge thread, make some loops, tie it off, and end this thread end. This just came off the end, so I'm going to put it back on, but I have enough to do so. Then I'm going to go in and we're going to make a loop on the opposite side for our button to sit inside. At the other end then, I have on my 4 seed beads with a 5th, and then I have 26 more seed beads on. I'm coming just like I did with the button back through that 5th seed bead. I'm then going to add 1, 2, 3, and 4 11 seed beads. Come down through the pearls on the opposite side, nice tight pull, and then you can see you have your nice loop. Just like we did on the other side, we want to go in and reinforce, making sure you don't miss any seed beads. We're going back through all the beads in a nice straight line there. Tighten up and pull your thread, not your needle, making sure you don't see any extra thread. And if you do forget a bead, you'll notice, because it'll kind of pop out to the side. Going down here though. Nice tight pull in there, and then up to the opposite side and in. Once you're through there and you have all of those beads and those thread going through, you're going to come down through the pearl. And just like I did on the opposite side, you're going back into the project here. This one happens to want to go up, so we'll go up through the S-curve. That's fine. Going around the S-curve. I'm going to go back into the project. And you can see my starting thread right there. And I'm just actually going to go right to that starting thread. I've already taken off my stop bead. I'm going to grab my 2 thread ends here. And I'm simply going to tie them in a knot. And then I'm going to tie them in a sewer's knot, making that loop go through once, go through twice. Nice tight knot. Excuse me. And through the pearl. Sorry about that. Hard to redo the clip when you actually already tied the knot. So, kept that in there. Sometimes we get something stuck in our throat. I'm going to go in then, cut off the extra thread here on both ends. And then when I do so, I'm going to take a lighter or a thread burner and snip down on, or burn down on those thread ends. I've been using a lighter and really liking it. I take those thread ends right to the lighter, heat it up, let it ball up, and go right towards the project, making sure that you're not melting any of the other threads in the design. That finishes up your sizzle bracelet, and you can see those fun S's and Z's throughout the whole design. I'm gonna stick it in so you can see about the size that it is, and it's great for a necklace as well too, and can be turned into a pair of earrings really easily. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this sizzle bracelet. It's really fun to see those S's and Z's. And remember I said you can make it into a necklace really easily. Look how gorgeous, and even drop some down for a pair of earrings as well. Remember, if you need any supplies, look below the video. In the description, hit that little show more button, and that'll drop down links to get back to our site to gather everything up. Also, make sure that you post your pictures of your different colorways in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Give a little thumbs up here, and don't forget, if you haven't yet, subscribe. You don't want to miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your new sizzle bracelet.